to treat them better and more effectively. But unfortunately, like, this is just starting off. Or fortunately, it's kind of exciting.
It is fortunate because you guys are aware and spreading that information.
Yeah, all the research is really in like the last 5 years or so, because it's such a recent invasive. Yeah.
So from Australia, is there a food source they prefer? Is that maybe there's a tree that they prefer to eat in Australia?
Do you want to answer them?
Yeah, the tree that they prefer in Australia and also here is just a crocus tree, like the octopus tree,
Which is invasive.
Oh.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, and it's invasive here. And in Australia, they have a symbiotic relationship with this ant that lives inside of the tree, and it kills the larva. But we don't have those ants here. And so I think that in Australia, their populations are kept under control because they have a bajillion bugs that like are fighting each other all the time, and we just don't have those. And we're not going to introduce those ants because we don't need it anymore.
Maybe we could trade them the LFAs.
I know. That would be better. Yeah, we have so many ants.
Like, that worked too.
Yeah.
Those nematodes, are they harmful to any other plants or bugs or?
There's been a lot of research into using nematodes like all over the world, and they're finding that there hasn't been any negative effects. Also, they can't harm the tree because they need a larval host in order to survive. So if there's no QLB larva in the tree, then they'll just die. And they're found naturally. They're actually harvested at Bayfront, and that's where they are found. And then we just grow them in our lab, and we're putting them directly into the tree. So once the larvae are gone, then they're gone also.
And that specific type of nematode, right? Because there are many types.
Yeah.
There's many types. Yes, that's specific.
This is Heterohaptidus indica.
Yes.
Okay.
If you're interested in looking that up.
Lots
Yeah.
of species names are very good.
Yeah,
to
especially
know.
we have a huge diversity of nematodes here, so we also there are scavenger nematodes. So this one is very specific to a larval host. Like they're called entomopathic nematodes, so they need that larval host in order to reproduce. So they're not going to be moving through the soil predating on other things that are potentially native.
Yeah, because there's a lot of nematodes that harm plants, but these are just ones
Yeah.
that need.
Are these nematodes widespread throughout the world in the tropics or like specific to Hawaii?
So it's unclear if they're indigenous or there's like speculation that they may have been arrived on like whaling ships or like other ships that came through here, because they are really only found coastally. They are found elsewhere in the world, the specific species, but they've been here as long as we've been testing the nematode, like the soil and looking at specific species of nematodes.
What other larvae down near Bayfront and the coast do they host on?
They like mealworms, really any beetle larva. They'll
Beetle
kind of go
larva.
after, yeah. Potentially, yeah. We haven't tested them. We've just taken this on about a year ago, specifically for our Queensland Longhorn beetle, because we're a forest restoration project at our core. This is not like what we do entirely, but we took this on to address the problem that we were seeing. But folks at USDA are researching this heavily and are kind of testing new larvae every day and seeing what it works on, what it doesn't.
When you gather the nematode, is there like a spot where this one is, or you have to just gather and then like you go in the lab? And
We had, like, USDA got one, was it USDA or was it
USDA.
USDA got like one stock from Bayfront, and then they've given us some of their nematodes, and then we just keep up like ramping production, and we use a different larval host, a Galeria moth larva, and then we just keep up the supply ourselves. So we haven't gone to Bayfront at all.
Well, we did, but we didn't know what we were doing, so it didn't
Oh,
work.
okay, that was before I was here. I didn't know that.
Has there been any research on fungal species that goes after the larva?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, there's still so many questions that have come up for us too as we're researching this because it's so new. So if anyone's interested in researching QLB, please.
I know there's a couple species of fungus that go after a CRB larva.
Yeah.
They're successful in Samoa and even here. So
Yeah, we haven't observed that here, but it's possible.
Are you guys able to share out to others who are interested in incubating?
We are working on that, yeah. So BISC is allowed to distribute right now. They're a bit backlogged because there's so much need for this in the community. So we're also working on just upping our production because we only need so many for our little site. So we're planning on giving any access to this to distribute to larger
What
community as
about
well.
shipping harvested in other islands also?
QLB is only in East
No,
India
the
Islands.
nematodes.
The nematodes are probably all over, yeah.
So do you think have you looked into shipping it into your island?
We haven't, because there wouldn't be necessarily like another host that we know this would be effective for treating. And since Queensland Longhorn Beetle is only here, we're not gonna just spread them across the islands. if
What
we
about
know.
for CRB treatment research?
We don't know yet if they
Yeah.
will work on CRP because they're much larger larvae. And yeah, we've just been focusing on QLB since it's affecting the forest that we're working in. But that is a super interesting thing that we've been thinking about. But also because CRB, their larval lives in the soil and not in the trees, it would be a little bit harder to target the larvae.
The other thing about this species is it really likes cooler, wet conditions, so we don't really know if they'd be effective in the wild, even if they can inoculate CRB. If we put them in this hot, dry soil, they might just dry up and die. They might not even make it to their host to kill them.
Yeah.
So, again, lots of research that still needs to be done, but we're not going to start just like shipping them into your island if we don't know there's need for it, and also there's a ton of permitting that goes into that. So right now we're kind of keeping those efforts consolidated here.
Is this something you would want to use as like a preventative, like the nematodes?
Unfortunately, it can't be used as a preventative because they need the larva in order to reproduce and survive. So if there's no larva, then they'll just die and one generation will be cut off.
Have they found it on the west side at all?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, it's mostly just Puna and Beetle.
Once the beetle has bored the dime-sized hole in the trunk and laid the egg and the larva hatches, even if you kill the larva, how about the tree? Can it make it? I mean, that's a pretty bad hit, yeah.
That's been what my whole summer has been about.
Yeah. We're trying to figure that out.
And I just ran all my stats last week, and all of our infections have either decreased completely, decreased, or not gotten worse. No trees got worse after treatment, and we have had 11 trees die, at least 11 trees,
Wow.
since we've been aware of QLB that have died. But then we've treated like 40 plus trees that have all either gotten better or stayed the same, so that's super promising. And trees, like, they know how to heal themselves, and so it depends on how old the tree is and if they were already sick with other things, but it's looking like they can heal themselves. And it's mostly the infection. Like, we have a lot of trees that have the exit holes and they're perfectly healthy now. Like, there's a tree that has like 4 exit holes around and it's completely
You guys
fine.
plug the hole or anything?
No.
Not right now. We are talking about modifying our treatment methods to use like a sponge full of nematodes and put it in the exit holes. Folks have done that with other entomopathic nematodes for biocontrol, so
Yeah. But it's exciting that, like, we know that it's working, and then we're trusting our trees to do what they need to do to get better.
Were they young trees or old trees in those instances, or mixed?
it's a mix.
Yeah. It just depends on the level of infection also.
Hey, hard questions, good answers. Thank you guys.
Oh, thanks for all your
Yeah,
answers.
thank
really
you for the
good.
questions. Really appreciate it.
Yay.
Do we
Oh,
do we have time for like a demo? I don't know if these
Sure.
Anything? Yeah, this is it.